Hello everybody, welcome back to my planting channel. If you are new here, my name is Grace. Today I'm going to be showing you all of the plants that I just got for my birthday. I just turned 25 in June. Before I get started, I actually want to give some plant updates. However, they are unfortunate ones. For some reason, I had just like a really bizarre week of plants just croaking on me. So my variegated goldfish plant got like a weird case of rot. It wasn't just root rot, it was like the entire, like all of the woody stems. I chopped off like every single branch that had leaves on it still, and all of the woody stems were just like spongy. They were like totally rotted. They weren't like woody. And I was just like, I had zero hope for the plant. And it did not, the cuttings did not survive. They just rotted, all the leaves fell off of them. They got yucky real quick, so I just had to chuck them. And then my Hoya Crinkle 8, I thought it just wasn't getting enough light, so I started moving it into the window every day, but it just like was too far gone apparently. I don't know if it also got root rot or what, I don't know. Because all my other Hoyas on that shelf, or on that table I mean, are like totally fine. So I don't know what was wrong with the Crinkle 8, but I also chopped it up. It was just like one long vine, so I cut it. And then I put it in a perlite bag to try to save it, and all of the leaves just yellowed off of it, rotted off, and the whole thing died. So no more Crinkle 8, but I do definitely want to replace the Crinkle 8, and especially I want to replace the variegated goldfish plant. Then the second thing that happened, I woke up like 3 days ago and looked at my begonias, the ones that are over here, my begonia fetter and my begonia fireworks, and they were both just melted. I had watered them 2 days prior. When I watered them, they were needing to be watered. I didn't overwater them. They weren't already wet or anything. They weren't underwatered. They were not overwatered. The humidity is like relatively fine. They weren't crispy or anything. The leaves looked perfectly intact, but the stems were completely floppy and like most of them were mush. So I think the only thing that I can like fathom is that maybe I watered them too many times in a row with fertilizer, and I just over fertilized them and like melted the roots. I don't know. So that has been very devastating. This is what they look like now. I completely chopped up every stem. I think there's two stems of each in here. The fetter, the begonia fetter is doing perfect. The leaves are like totally stiff again, but the begonia firework is still kind of like flappy. I need to pull it out of here and trim. Like this leaf is dead and this leaf is gone. Some of them are salvageable, like this big huge one is a little crispy and melted on the tips, but the rest of it feels okay. This newest leaf feels okay. So that has been really, really heartbreaking because my firework has, it had just been looking so stunning. The leaves got literally bigger than my hand. They were like the size of a massive, like, I don't know, like a dinner plate or something. So yeah, that's something very upsetting that happened this week, literally just a few days ago. And I kept the base of the firework just to see what'll happen. And then, like the same day that happened, one of my brand new Hoyas, I found out that it had root rot, and I don't know why. The only thing that I can think is that I thought that when I bought it from her, I thought that it was more rooted than it actually was, and I was probably underwatering it for the size of the root system. Literally just, I woke up, checked my plants, and almost all the leaves had fallen off of it overnight, and I was like, whoa, what the heck? This one was one of my favorites. So I immediately pulled it out of the pot, looked at the roots, and the entire stem, including the roots, it had like teeny tiny little root system on it, barely anything. The stem was completely just dry and rotted, and I literally could just like snap it off like a dry twig. Okay, sad updates aside, I'm gonna stop blabbing now because I have 12 Hoyas to get into and 2 other types of plants. Mainly this is just a massive Hoya haul. I found this woman who is local to us in Michigan. She literally lives like 30 minutes away, which is amazing, and she collects so many Hoya. I didn't actually ask her how many she has. I'll have to ask the next time that I go see her. But she just like let me come over to her house and literally pick out cuttings of anything I wanted that I could afford. And they are big Hoyas. Like, she has them grown out large on trellises. Some of them are massive hanging baskets. Her entire wraparound porch is covered, like everywhere is a Hoya. It is bonkers. It just blew my mind, and I had to just like slowly walk through everything and then like double back and re-walk through because I missed like so many things through the first time because there's just layers and layers and layers of pots of Hoyas everywhere. It was like supposed to be like my birthday present for my boyfriend, so I went with him and I just picked out everything I wanted for my birthday and he got it for me, and it was just like the sweetest thing ever and one of the most fun days that I've had in a while. It was a crazy fun experience and I cannot wait to go back again and get more from her. So yeah, let's dive into it. I think I'm gonna start with the potted ones first, and then I'll get into the cuttings that are rooting in stratum. First is Hoya species Affinity bronier, and I really wanted this one because of the velvety leaves. I have it sitting on my plant shelf right next to my couch, and I will literally just like sit there and just rub the leaves because they are so soft feeling. I also love how this can kind of sun stress to where it gets dark margins around the edges. I started rooting it, so this was 2 long tendrils of cuttings. I started rooting them in a perlite bag and they didn't love that. So I went ahead and took them out, and I'm trying to just continue the rooting process in soil and hope that that does okay. They're looking slightly pale, but I'm hoping that they'll kind of just like work through that. they'll get over it and continue to push out roots. I actually haven't checked. They've been in here, they've been in soil for like 3 or 4 days now. But yeah, this is Hoya species Affinity bronier. Next, this one is actually the only one that I bought for myself. I figured that this one was my birthday present to myself. This is Hoya Nova Ghost, and I had no idea how soft it also is. It must have like teeny tiny little fuzzy hairs on it. Either that or it's just like so smooth that it feels soft. I can't really tell. It's pushed out this leaf. It's still expanding a little bit. It literally just pushed it out a few days ago and it's already pushing out 2 new leaves actually. I thought it was just 1. But yeah, this was my birthday present to myself. I love everything about this Hoya. I also have no idea what the blooms look like on literally any of these. Yeah, literally any of these. I figured that this trip I would start like all of the ones that I got this go around would be bought for their foliage, and then the next time I go see her I want to try to knock off some of the ones on my wish list, if she even has them, which I imagine she does with as many as she has, but I want to try to start knocking off some of the ones that I want to collect just for their blooms, so not necessarily like poppy foliage, but you know, poppy blooms. This one has like 4 or 5 leaves that are still like trying to harden off, so some of them look like really light green because they're still like hardening off. But this is Hoya Hoya Croniana Super Silver. Or I think, yeah, I think this one is technically a super silver and not a silver splash. But either way, I don't really care. I don't have a preference. I wanted to put a more silver version in with my Hoya cronana splash. I mean, you can literally see how vastly different the splashiness is. But yeah, I thought that it'd be cute to have them like in a combined pot. The light isn't doing this much justice, but it does actually have a decent amount of silvery splash on it. I figured that these would look cute potted together. This is a Hoya compacta, which I've been wanting just a green compacta for so long. I've actually had the outer variegated version for like a year now, I think. I got it from her, I just realized. So yeah, I finally was able to get just a green compacta, which I really, really love both the outer variegated and the green compacta. I feel like the green compacta is just such a Hoya classic. I just really, really wanted it in my collection because it's just so cute, and when they get big, you can put them in a hanging pot and they just have so many arms coming out of the pot. It just like reminds me of like an octopus or something. But yeah, I'm super glad that I finally have just a normal green compacta. Hopefully it grows faster than my outer variegated one, because my outer variegated one has not grown in months. Like it hasn't pushed out anything new since early spring. It's like half the size of this one. It's just like a little tendril, and it's just nothing else. I am happy with these two though, like this one and the outer variegated. I don't want an inner variegated one. I don't personally like the way that they look. I don't think that they're very attractive, but if at some point in my life someday I could manage to get my hands on the very, very rare and extremely expensive Hoya Oblak. I don't know how it's pronounced. Oblak. I will put pictures on the screen. If I could ever get my hands on that one, I would perish. I would just not know what to do with myself. It is the most stunning version of compacta I have literally ever seen. Next is not a Hoya, however, it is a Pothos Mandula. I have been wanting to get a Mandula to kind of fill out my Pothos collection. I really love the little curly leaves on it. The reason why I bought this and even wanted it in the first place was because I'm trying to collect Epipremnum pothos at the moment to grow on poles. So far I have a Lizard Queen, I have a High Voltage, I now have Mandula, I also have my Neon pothos down there, I now have my Epipremnum Skeleton Key, I also have Epipremnum Baltic Blue right there, and an Epipremnum Cebu Blue ready to be put on a pole as well. Last thing on my list for as far as pothos go is a Jasenia pothos. So I only have one pothos left to collect, and so I was really glad to be able to knock this one off my list. Last rooted one is a Hoya, and this one is a Hoya Nickelson New Guinea Ghost, which she so very kindly gifted to me because she found out it was my birthday, and she was like, well, pick out something for your birthday, like I'll give it to you. I was like, I can't just pick out a random one of your plants and then like ask for that for my birthday. I can't just ask you to give me one of your plants. And she was like, yes you can, like just tell me show me your wish list. Do you have a wish list on you? And I was like, I sure do. So I showed her my Hoya wish list and she was like, okay, I got that one, I'll be right back. And then she comes out with this and just gave it to me, and I started tearing up. I was like, you literally don't have to do that. That is so freaking sweet, so nice. I've never had somebody just like give me a plant like that before. Like a plant that is not cheap. Like this isn't super uber expensive, but you know, these aren't cheap. Especially just a plant that I've been wanting for so long This has been such a wish list plant for me. I can't wait to grow it on a trellis and start getting it to sun stress. Next up are propagations, and this very rooty, I completely rooted this all myself. It was just a cutting. This very rooty cutting right here is a Hoya crassy petiolata splash, which I couldn't believe that I was able to get my hands on a cutting of it for only $5. However, I did because she is my hero. So this guy is like so ready to be potted, which I'm going to be doing in a video soon. Yeah, Hoya crassy petiolata splash. I am super uber proud to say that I own this plant now. Also extremely, sorry, you can see it better on my with the dark contrast of my shirt. Super uber impressed with how well this rooted up. I literally just popped it in water and it took off. Within a few days it already started rooting. Hoya crassy petiolata splash is now in my collection, which is great because I really love my just normal green crassy. I'll show it to you. It has a massively long tendril on it right now. But yeah, this is my just normal green crassy, and I love the black veination on the back of the leaves, and then just like how dark the veination is in general on the front. Really beautiful Hoya. Next guy is in this perlite bag right here, which I will open up for you. This is kind of wonky looking synapsis so silver, and I didn't even know that this existed. I think it's maybe like a newer form of synapsis. It hasn't really rooted. I find synapsis to be kinda really tricky to root though. Not really tricky, because literally all you have to do is just put them in a perlite bag and then just wait. The tricky part is having the patience to root them. I have my exotica over there, and I just love my exotica so much that I was like, you know what, I also have the synapsis jade satin, which is just like a super dark green leaf. So I kind of just wanted like the opposite of that. On to the last ones, which are, these were fresh cuttings, are all in little cups of fluval stratum. This is a Hoya Australis Lisa, and it is currently pushing out little baby leaves, and they are so sun-stressed. They're like this reddish pink. They're adorable. And look at them roots. I can't believe how rooty some of these are. Most of them, I think. Yeah. I mean, these were fresh cuts when I got them. I've had them for like 3 or 4 weeks, I think, maybe even longer. I don't have a concept of time. Next is Hoya serpens, and if I find the right spot right there, it's actually rooting really well. It didn't push out roots for like the majority of the time that I've had it, and then all of a sudden it finally just started popping off with some roots, and oh my goodness, it has new growth on it. Oh, you can actually see it through the side right there. It has a little growth spike. It's gonna start pushing out leaves too. How cute. I've been wanting serpents for forever. I mean, honestly, I've been wanting to collect all of these Hoyas for forever. So this is my first time checking on it today. This is the one that I was talking about earlier that got root rot, and just tried to give it a chance and pop it in a cup. And it is dead. This was... That is so depressing. I kind of don't even want to show this. But we are so real. We're so real here on this channel. This was Hoya sigillatus borneo. it is no longer Hoya sigillatus borneo. It is just a dead plant. So change the tally from 12 new Hoyas to 11. I'm laughing so I don't cry because that was one of my favorites. I will definitely be buying some more cuttings of that one because I love the specimen that she has. She has a really, really beautiful one. I prefer sigillatus with more oval shaped leaves compared to like the super long elongated sigillatus. The ones that have like the more rounder ovally leaves are my preferred favorite. I'm definitely going to have to repurchase that one, unfortunately. Next is the extremely rooted Hoya wait, what is this even called? Hoya parasitica black margin. It has a new leaf right here, the little leaf my thumb is on. And yeah, I love the dimpling in this plant, the way that the sides, the margins can sun stress really, really black. And I'm just super ecstatic, super ecstatic with how well it has rooted up. This little guy was also a gift from her because she's just the best. I think it has one root that I could see, but I can't see it anymore, so I don't know where it went. But this is Hoya Mariana, I think is how it's pronounced. I will put some photos. It's definitely rooted in there. I can't like tug it out. I'll put some photos on the screen of what the foliage looks like. I also don't know what the blooms look like, so I guess I'll put those too. But it has just these cutie little crinkled leaves. I told her that I really love my rotundiflora that I got from her. Or actually she gave me my rotundiflora cutting and she totally got me hooked with the rotundiflora cutting. She totally got me hooked on Hoyas with really interesting foliage. And she was like, I have the plant for you then. And then she gave me a cutting of this. So yeah, I'm super excited for this to grow out because I love how it looks on like a trellis and how it looks when it's bigger. I'm really, really excited. Oh my gosh, we're already on our last one. Okay, I actually saved the best for last because this one was the highest on my wish list. She actually cut it from like her, I'm gonna say she cut it from like her personal plant, but like I guess all of them are her personal plants. But she had never offered a cutting of this one before, I guess I should say. And she had it like indoors, like in her like little greenhouse or whatever. Like this is a special plant for her and also for me. And she took a cutting of it for me. This is Hoya Manny, which has a big root right there and some more big roots on the back. And it's already pushing out, oh my god! It's pushing out flowers. I hadn't looked at it today yet. Are those flowers? Stop it right now. I will cry on camera. Literally stop. I'm gonna have to take videos of this. I thought that it was pushing out new leaves. I did not realize that those were flowers. I'm so shocked. Okay, what a wonderful Hoya to end on. Hoya Manny is finally knocked off my wish list. This was another one, as soon as I saw this, it reminded me of my rotundiflora of Larry. And I was like, I need to have it. I need all of the interestingly shaped, weird, wonky Hoyas. I cannot wait to go back to her house and shop all of her Hoyas again. So just for reference, this is a picture of what my wish list looked like when I went. And this is a picture of what my wish list looks like now after I have bought all of these. Knocked off quite a few, which is super exciting. And I'm really excited to continue knocking off more, but I also probably shouldn't do that until I have more room to do so. Actually thinking of downsizing on some Hoyas. I'm definitely getting rid of my Curtisii. I just don't like it anymore. It's not very cute. And my Lacinosa Royal Flush I'm trying to get rid of. I'm at least trying to downsize. I have talked and talked for long enough. This is probably gonna be a bit of a long video. Hopefully I can edit it down to where it's not. Thank you so very much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed and shared my joy with me of all of these wonderful new Hoya that I have brought into my collection. A big thank you and shout out to my sweet boyfriend for buying all of these for my birthday and for supporting my planty addictions. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please consider subscribing and leaving a like and a comment. I would greatly appreciate it so very much. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!